Kamara, drive in. It's the coach.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by Matt Ryan, NFL MVP back in 2016, and now in his 12th year in the league.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes
Two
last week.
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. And let's take a look at the Bears offense.
Let's focus our attention on the offensive line and Brandon Sheriff, the first-round pick in 2015. In fact, the first lineman taken at number 5 overall, an offensive tackle in college, transitioned very well to guard in the NFL. Solid, reliable, 2 traits you love in an offensive lineman. How about tough, physical, and nasty? He's an Iowa offensive lineman. Those guys play well in the NFL.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place. And
usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Newton. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
First down, Bears.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsey. 14 carries, 81 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Newton to throw. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now Newton. And that is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. That's the rookie with a catch, A.J. Brown. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 right at the 40. From the shotgun, Ryan. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Wake drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Newton. And he finds his tight end, Graham. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Off play action. Newton. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
25 yards there on the catch and run. From the red zone now, Newton. Flushed out right, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Got a man. It's Brown. Touchdown, LA! A.J. Brown, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Rams have taken the lead.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way. It takes it for a touchdown.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They go play action here on first down. And an alley to run. That bulldozing, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, no, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's third down. Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Sean Bunting. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. To throw again on second down. Ryan, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Newton. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And another example right there, Charles. McCoy is good getting the ball handed to him. He's also dangerous in the passing game.
You put him in space, and you've got trouble as a defense, and they organize.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Tackle made by Bruce Carter. This is Brown on the carry. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ballgame. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, but it'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Kamara. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. From the gun, Ryan. And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Charles.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. But when you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So here are the Rams to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Ryan. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard gain?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do. And I think you wonder, what type of a route are you going to send me on that only 1 yard is going to be the result? If I'm going to go in there and take contact, let's go and get something out of it, not just 1 yard.
Ryan now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the 4th quarter. They run it again with Kamara. And an alley to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for L.A. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Ryan. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
Now Ryan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. This one caught by Crowder. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Ryan. And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again. And oh, it's blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt. And the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Newton to throw. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Ryan now off the bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Ryan on the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The Rams on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton, he finds McCoy. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now a first down throw for Newton. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Going for it all. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react until the...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. They snap it to Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
51, down. 61, match box, lights.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bears take over. So Cam Newton and his offense down by 15. 43 seconds to go. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack on 1st down, Newton, and they don't get the reception, incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off right around the 43. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
So the LA Rams with a victory here, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Rams, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.